This video was made possible by the good folks at Next Level Racing. To purchase a cockpit setup like mine or any other Next Level Racing products, check out nextlevelracing.com. Is Project Cars 2 still worth buying in 2019? It's one of the most common questions I see asked in sim racing forums, and today I'm going to try and answer whether or not this title is still worth the purchase. So Project Cars 2 is by far the most polarizing title in sim racing as far as I'm concerned. You'll see opinions ranging from PC2 being a total unfinished mess full of glitches and bugs to it being the most complete title available and everything you would want in a racing sim. So I'm hoping to sort of list out what's good and what's bad, and maybe it will highlight something, maybe it's something you look for in a racing sim. So we'll start off with the good. And first and foremost is the graphics and the VR. And the graphics, as you can tell here, are gorgeous. It's a great looking game even 2 years into its life. Their use of light, their detailing of the cars and tracks is very much on point, and it looks great in VR as well. It's a totally immersive experience. You may have seen Jimmy Broadbent's video a couple of months ago about his best VR experience ever, and that was in Project Cars 2 at the Daytona road course. And I totally agree. Some of the best times I've had in VR have also been in PC2. Moving on, the content as well. The cars and tracks, it's got a very wide range of car classes, as well as a great number of tracks, both fictional and real. Some of them are laser scanned, not all, but some are laser scanned, and there's enough to keep things interesting for sure in terms of both cars and tracks. It's important to note though, there is very limited modding. There are some mods that you can add to PC2, but it's certainly not an Assetto Corsa or R Factor 2 level of modding. Next thing is the online mode, and of course it's a 2-year-old sim, so it's dropping off in popularity. However, setting up an online race or joining an online race is very simple, and the layout is very good. There's still enough action out there that you can probably find a good GT3 or GT4 race, but like I said, the popularity is falling off, but overall the online mode is very well put together and very well thought out. And finally on the list of key positives is the night and weather modes. Project Cars 2 offers a basically infinite amount of combinations of day and night and weather options. You can have fog, you can have pure sunshine, rain, heavy rain, snow, whatever you want more or less can be brought to Project Cars 2, as well as night modes. You can transition. It's not presets like Gran Turismo. You can actually transition between day and night, and everything in between. Sunset looks absolutely gorgeous, and the weather modes are very well done. The standing water on the track makes things very interesting, so that's definitely a positive. Moving on to some things that I don't like about Project Cars 2. First and foremost, the sounds. I've never really appreciated the sounds in PC2. Some people really love them. I did a sound video recently comparing Race Room to ACC, and some people jumped in and said, you know, Project Cars 2 has the best sounds. I don't agree, but some people really like them, so I think it depends on what you look for in racing sim sounds. For me, the engine notes just aren't there, but yeah, so I put that in my list of negatives, but some people may appreciate the sounds. Next up is the default force feedback, and you'll notice I said default force feedback. So there are now for PC some options for improving the force feedback. There's an option in-game to choose a custom force feedback, and you can download basically a text file from a number of sites. They're all free, and there's various options out there for finding something you really like, so you can customize the force feedback, and that's what I've done with PC2, and it's totally changed my experience with it. It's a fun hot lapping sim for me now, and I feel much more connected. If I'm driving in inclement weather, then I can have a better sense of feel with the road, and it's just totally changed my experience. But the default force feedback, if you're running on console, or if you're not inclined to download a custom force feedback profile, you might not like it too much. Next up is what I consider one of the more key bugs in the game, and that is the clutch. The clutch is more or less useless. If you run a 3-pedal setup and you like H-pattern shifting, Project Cars 2, in my opinion, comes up quite short in that regard. The clutch is more or less useless. You can choose to use it or not use it, and it will not affect your shifting, and I think it's one of the key bugs. And it just kind of takes you out of that immersive feeling I was talking about earlier in the VR. If it's an optional pedal and you're always hitting your shifts, I mean, it just is one of the key bugs, and it just seems like something that Slightly Mad Studios could have fixed. Next up is the track limits. So the track limits can be very frustrating. To be fair, the track limits are the track limits, and it's not like it varies lap to lap, but they're very strict. And if you're doing hot lapping, and there's cases where you're pushing your car really hard and you go even slightly out of bounds in some areas where in other sims it allows you to go out of bounds and you voided your lap, and it's very annoying. But again, at least it's consistent. But I do put it on my list of negatives because it can be quite infuriating. So finally, guys, my verdict, and we've come this far, and you're looking for my verdict on whether or not you should buy Project Cars 2 in 2019, and I'll answer it in 2 parts, but I will answer it. So on its own merits, I think Project Cars 2 is worth the purchase. It's very good racing sim in most areas. The incredible amount of content combined with the driving experience that I'm now getting thanks to the custom force feedback files, I would definitely recommend Project Cars 2. The second part of the answer is that we are probably about 1.5 years away from receiving the 3rd installment in the Project Cars series. Slightly Mad Studios has talked about the fact that they are developing it. Presumably they would have had a team working on their console. Their console has now been scrapped due to funding issues, as far as I know. So that team may have shifted their focus toward PC3, so they may be improving the timeline on that. So we're talking about buying a title that's no longer officially supported. There will no longer be updates for Project Cars 2. Additionally, there's no real mods for this game, so what you see is what you get. So, and with the obsolescence of Project Cars 2 in the foreseeable future, I would recommend holding off until you see this game on sale. That's not to say don't buy it, but I would recommend buying it if you see it on sale. So that's it, guys. I hope I adequately answered the question. Again, you will have to sort of weigh what you think is important in a racing sim. For me, the good definitely outweighs the bad, and I have a great time in Project Cars 2. Other than Assetto Corsa and R Factor 2, this is the racing sim I spend the most time with. I really enjoy it. It's a very polarizing sim, but at the same time, it does have a lot of great features to it, and that's pretty undeniable. Even the haters will admit that there are some things, like the graphics, that Project Cars 2 does very well. So weigh what you want, but it gets a thumbs up for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments whether or not you're into Project Cars 2 and whether you would recommend it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.